This is Appian Government 2022, and we are so pleased to be with Jason Adolf, the Industry Global Public Sector VP for Appian, and again, Dan Streicher. And on the occasion of the Appian Solution Cup, let's start with you, Jason. Talk about, just set the stage and the framework for why solutions fit so well into the software as a service and the low-code platform strategy.
Sure, it's a great question. So, we're selling a Swiss Army knife in many ways, and a lot of our customers don't want to start at 0 or 20% or whatever the out of the box would get them for their particular mission. And because we do a lot of mission work with our customers, we're selling to the business, we're not selling to IT. And so what our partners bring to the event is, and particularly why we do these hackathons, is they're bringing domain expertise to the table that we don't have. And so taking the product, crafting it to do something that is mission focused, it makes it more real for the customer. And so they're seeing not just the art of the possible, they're seeing here's how I could actually manifest the mission in the product, and it's extraordinarily valuable to us.
Let's talk about the art of the possible, because that was kind of the way that we looked at this particular challenge, the Solution Cup. And based on your intimacy with, in this case, the Coast Guard, you had an idea. Tell us about how that was formulated, and Dan, how did we come up with our Solution Cup entry?
Sure. So something that we've done a lot in the past, especially with proof of concepts, is the client typically doesn't think the level of effort required is low enough that essentially they can get a solution with full capabilities out fast enough. And so you never really take the step into what can actually be done quickly. Something we're finding with a lot of platforms, especially with Appian, is that how quickly you can put something together that's considered fully featured and can scale to their needs, and quickly, and realistically, that was like a perfect match. We knew that there was an emergent issue right now specific to migrant response and processing, and really kind of just putting one and one together. We found out that all of these capabilities that they were looking for, disconnected state, offline, mobile, and Appian, being able to just produce a proof of concept, minimal viable product that gets the critical functions available quickly, rapidly, and present that as the proof of said concept, it really does like a light bulb when you show it to clientele and they say, this is exactly what we were looking for.
And let's talk about some of the themes here today and this week, because you've been talking about mid to highly complex solutions. And what the Solution Cup represents is really the formulation, or at least the beginning of the formulation of some of those complex solutions. And the go-to-market is a shared responsibility. How does Appian work with not only customers, but with partners to really make these solutions viable?
Well, so we are reliant on our partners for domain expertise, hands down. I mean, you all know your customer, you know your market, and so I look at our role as enabling you to design this solution that then goes to market. I mean, because we do a lot of mission work, our customers, the users of our system are operators. They're field people. I mean, in your case, the solution you built will be used by people out in the field performing the work, not sitting in a back office somewhere. And so there is a requirement that you understand how they're going to use the system, not just what it could do. And so you mentioned a couple of capabilities. So it's wonderful that we have those capabilities, but we as a product vendor wouldn't know how to apply them specifically to those missions. That's where the translation layer comes in that you all bring to the cup. And so what we like to do with this hackathon is allow you to use that creativity and say, well, here's what we think the product can do. Here's how we think the features, the use cases would manifest themselves in real life. And I mean, that is a symbiotic relationship. Like we couldn't do that without our partners, and we couldn't do that if you all didn't understand your customers and their domain.
How much of the focus, I mean, based on the executive order last December, the customer experience and transforming government, the presentations this morning talked about the dollar and time savings that these kinds of platforms, these kinds of solutions can realize. How much of the user-centered design, the customer experience factor into ultimately the capabilities that you put into the product, and what can we maybe expect in the next days or so with where the product direction is going and what is guiding that, Jason?
Sure. So there's a couple things. You can look at CX as both a design paradigm, or you can look at it as an experience paradigm. So we've always, in the past, looked at it as if we make the work that the government has to do easier, better, they can provide better service, better SLAs, they can provide better customer service to their end stakeholders or constituents, whether it's, civilian, defense, whatever that may be. When we rolled out the portal product earlier this year, we kind of took a very different step, which is to say, we were typically very good at the operator side. We really didn't focus on the citizen to government or stakeholder to government interaction. And so what you will see is, over the next couple of releases is a lot of focus on improving that portal experience. More flexibility, more features, more capability. And I think, that, again, gives you additional opportunities to expand the type of use cases that, maybe you didn't consider us for in the past.
Appreciated the opportunity to participate in Solution Cup. We're going to ask you for advice. As we go into next year, we are a bronze finisher this year, but what should companies look at, participants, ecosystem of partners seeking to participate in this Solution Cup? What are you guys looking for at Appian to kind of make standout participants and candidates for this particular hackathon?
I mean, in general, the thing that we look for probably over and above all else is repeatability. And so if you look at it from our perspective, your company and the ideas that you presented are fantastic. You solve a problem, solve a mission, real customer insights. And we looked at that and said, wow, I mean, you guys have really thought this through and put something together. What I think ultimately, if you look at it, what we want is to find for you all a way to take it and repeat that 10 times, 100 times. And what, if you look at Matt Calkin's vision for the company, it is to be both platform but also solutions focused. And so the key for us to do that at scale is repeatability. And we know that's hard at the federal level because there's a lot of variation, but that would be the insight I would give to probably anybody looking at building solutions or participating in the cup is, how can I take this to 20 places or 30 places? And it's hard. I mean, it's hard to come up with those ideas, but ultimately we're trying to make it fruitful for you all, right? And support you as best as we can.
Great observations. We're going to leave it here. Dan, thank you so much for joining us. You were very instrumental in the Solution Cup this year, designing the solution, so congratulations. And Jason, thanks so much.
Really appreciate your participation. I'd love to see you guys here. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Appian Government 2022 from Ronald Reagan. More as this show rolls on from the Ronald Reagan Center just outside the White House downtown this week.